Welcome back, everybody, to Niners Now. I'm your host, Brady Grustas, at Grustas Brady on X. You can follow me there. And today, I want to talk about some wild trade rumors that have been circling the 49ers for a while now. And of course, stick around until later in the show because a key veteran is now available, and he could help the Niners out quite a bit this season. Before we begin, go ahead and subscribe down below. The support has been fantastic so far. You guys are hitting that subscribe button and liking the videos like crazy. I really appreciate it. So please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and let's get into it. So first, I want to talk about a potential Justin Jefferson trade. I've been seeing a lot of buzz online about this type of move, especially considering the outcome of the last Vikings game. They were blown out 26-0 by the Seattle Seahawks. So the rumored trade that I keep seeing online is Mac Jones and Brandon Ayuk traded to the Minnesota Vikings for Justin Jefferson. Now, why would the Vikings do this? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for them. They would be moving their amazing receiver, arguably the best receiver in the NFL still today. They'd be moving him for a quarterback who might be good and a recovering wide receiver who knows if he'll ever look the same, right? If we're talking about the peak of their powers, you get probably a top 20 quarterback in Mac Jones and a fringe all-pro receiver in Brandon Ayuk for Justin Jefferson. If everybody's healthy, that's a little more acceptable, right? But not everybody's healthy. Brandon Ayuk is coming back from that knee injury. He is forcing his way out of San Francisco. There's very little value there with Brandon Ayuk. The Niners would have to include at least one first-round pick in this deal in order to make it go through. And even then, I think the Vikings still might not do it. But I understand where this rumor is coming from, right? The 49ers have shown a lot of interest in Justin Jefferson. They were likely going to take him in the 2020 NFL draft back when he was coming out of LSU. They had a pre-draft workout with Justin Jefferson. They expressed a lot of interest, but unfortunately, he went off the board before they were able to pick. He went to the Minnesota Vikings, of course. Niners ended up trading up later. I think Justin Jefferson went like 21st. I think he went 21st. Yeah, because it was like Jalen Reagor at number 20, Justin Jefferson 21. And then at 25, the 49ers traded up for Brandon Ayuk. So certainly have to at least consider the possibility that they would have taken Justin Jefferson at that spot. And then, of course, the Vikings are the perfect landing spot for Mac Jones, right? This is a team that's already succeeded with a former 49er backup. Sam Darnold went to Minnesota, went to that Kevin O'Connell system, and really turned around his career. I have to imagine Mac Jones would also look pretty good in that offense. The Vikings are reportedly very interested in Mac Jones and will certainly be making some trade calls for him, considering their second-year quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, is terrible. He's not very good, and they don't have a good quarterback on their roster now. So Mac Jones could come in and win that starting job without a shadow of a doubt. Now, the Vikings are interested in Mac Jones. The 49ers are interested in Justin Jefferson. So why won't this happen? Because the Vikings should not and probably will not trade Justin Jefferson. But if he ever forces his way out, the Niners should absolutely be interested. You can make the argument that, the Niners offense doesn't feature wide receivers heavily enough to go make a trade like that. And I understand that argument. But when you have Justin Jefferson available to you, you go get Justin Jefferson. It's non-negotiable to me. He's a potential Hall of Fame level talent. Like, he's that type of guy. And if you can get him on your team, you just do it. So if you were the 49ers, what would you trade for Justin Jefferson? Let me know down below in the comments. Now let's talk about a guy who the 49ers have already picked up, Eric Kendricks at linebacker. He's a NorCal guy. He's from Clovis. He's on the practice squad right now, and he's a very experienced player. He's got 142 career starts. That's a ton, 142. This is his 11th season. He came into the NFL in 2015, and he's still, producing. He had 138 tackles last year, which was nearly a career high. His career high is 143. Now, Kendricks is obviously not his prime self anymore. He had that one All-Pro season, and he's not playing at that level anymore. But he's still producing, and he's still worthy of a roster spot, in my opinion. He's kind of a weird build. He's 6 foot, 232 pounds. So you don't see a ton of linebackers with that sort of frame. He's kind of a bowling ball in the middle there. And honestly, he plays bigger than 6 foot. He is not afraid of contact. He's got good point of attack strength. He's much better going forwards than backwards. And we hear that a lot about 49ers linebackers, but most backup linebackers in the NFL. They're better going forwards than backwards, right? Eric Kendricks, he's still got some speed. He's got the ability to shed a block. He can move through a guard or a pulling tackle or whatever it may be and make a tackle in the backfield. He's still got that ability. But I want to talk about his potential role, right? Where is he going to play on this defense? Well, first, the 49ers would have to elevate him from the practice squad. And if they do, my guess is that they would initially be playing him at Sam linebacker on that strong side. And this is because his skill as a blitzer could really lend himself to that Sam role. Robert Saleh has been using the Sam linebacker in kind of a weird way. He's putting the linebacker on the line of scrimmage and essentially saying, okay, you're just going to be another edge rusher for this team who can potentially drop back into coverage if needed. And given that Kendricks has a lot of production as a blitzer, he's had 3.5 sacks each of the last 2 seasons, that's a role I think he could really excel at. He's got that kind of shorter body, so he might be able to win some leverage battles against a taller tight end or offensive tackle or what have you. However, his experience and, his more natural fit is at Mike. He's a guy who's played Mike basically his entire career. Played in a couple 3-4 systems where he was one of 2 middle linebackers. But he spent 8 years with the Vikings, 1 with the Chargers, 1 with the Cowboys, and he played Mike his entire career. So if you want him to come in and play Mike, I think that is something he can do as well. Now, I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to play him at Mike over Tatum Bethune because you want Bethune, the younger guy, to get those reps and really develop at Mike. But if Bethune is going to be out, then sure, you could slide Kendricks in, have him play that Mike spot. Hopefully keep playing Nick Martin at Sam if he can get back from that concussion. I think Eric Kendricks is uniquely positioned to play either Sam or Mike at this team. And I think he could play the will position too, but the Niners are, set there with D. Winters. So where do you think Eric Kendricks should play? Should he play Sam? Should he play over Nick Martin? Should he play Mike until Bethune gets back? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, we talked about a guy the Niners could trade for and a guy that the Niners have already signed. What about a guy that the 49ers should sign? Cornerback Darius Slay was released by the Pittsburgh Steelers on Tuesday after being a healthy scratch in their game against the Bills on Sunday. Now, Slay is 34 years old at cornerback. He's an old starter on a bad defense at a position that requires a lot of athleticism. It makes sense that the Steelers are moving on here, but Slay plans to continue playing, and you'd have to assume that he would want a chance to play in the playoffs, right? Steelers are technically in playoff discussions at the moment, but I think Slay would maybe want an upgrade there, a team that is more likely to make the playoffs, a team that is more likely to win some games in the playoffs. So could he be potential corner depth for the 49ers? Niners have 9 wins. I know they're only the 7th seed right now, but they're in a great spot. They have among the highest playoff percentage chances in the entire NFC. And I don't think Slay would play much for the Niners, but he would be a great veteran for Renardo Green and Upton Stout and Diamador Lenore. That's a pretty young cornerback trio compared to the rest of the league. And I think Slay, with all his experience, could step in and give some really valuable coaching to those young guys. Slay's played on a lot of really successful teams. He's played for the Eagles. I believe he was a Super Bowl champion with the Eagles. Spent a lot of time in Detroit as well. He's played in the NFL for 13 seasons. Started his career in 2013. Wow, that is a long time ago. So I would certainly like to bring in Darius Slay as a backup option, right? As some depth in case one of those corners get hurt. They've been remarkably healthy all year, if we're being honest. So if we do encounter some unfortunate luck at that position, Slay could be a great addition. But what do you think? Would you bring in Darius Slay, or do you think he is totally washed? Let me know down below in the comments. And of course, speaking of the comments, it's time for the return of the comments section. It's been a little while. We took a break for the holidays, but I'm happy to be back talking about your guys' comments and giving my own thoughts. If you want to be featured on this segment, all you got to do is leave a comment down below. The more comments you leave, the more likely you are to make it into this segment. It's kind of like buying a bunch of lottery tickets in that way. But you're much more likely to appear on the comment section than you are to win the lottery. So if you've got any thoughts about me, about the channel, about the 49ers, please leave your thoughts down below, and you may be featured in the comment section going forward. Thanks to everyone who's subscribed, of course, but also commented, right? I read all your comments, even the ones that are not featured in here. And special thanks to the three who I'm shouting out in this episode. First one from Rico. His comment says, "Just be quiet." Man, you got me, Rico. I guess that's what I get for picking the Browns last week. I understand. I understand that people don't love to hear a 49ers content creator picking against the 49ers. I've been in those shoes before. I'll be better next time. Listen, I don't want to predict the future, but I'm pretty sure I will be picking the Niners the next time they play a football game against the Tennessee Titans. Next comment now from Moises. Good content, just subscribed. Thank you very much, Moises. I appreciate that. If you guys like the videos, or if you have a preference of what you prefer to watch me make, let me know in the comments down below. If you like the comments section, I will absolutely be sure to keep including it. If you like the game day previews, the game day checklists, I'll absolutely keep going with those. If you guys like the stock report, I'll keep that going. If you guys have more stuff you want to see, just let me know down below in the comments. I'm very flexible. We've got a bye week coming up, so whole week of videos that we've got a whole lot of flexibility with. So let me know down below. Last comment from today from Chalk Demon. I want to see Nick Martin turn the corner and replace Dre Greenlaw. I'll say, me too. I totally agree, Chalk Demon. That would be fantastic. It is kind of a weird situation, though, at will, where both D. Winters and Nick Martin play will. They're both will linebackers. Like, that is their ideal position. They are built to play next to Fred Warner. And D. Winters has started to really become this team leader, especially since Fred has been out. But Winters has the rest of this season and then next season under contract before he is a restricted free agent. So that's a year and a half of D. Winters where he's only got a year and a half to win that starting spot going forward. If he doesn't, maybe Nick Martin is the replacement. It's obviously very early to say for Martin. He needs a lot of development. So it's tough, but I think he certainly has the talent to replace not only D. Winters, but Dre Greenlaw and be that true, 1B type of linebacker next to Fred Warner. But he does have a long way to go. So that is all for today, folks. Should the 49ers sign any of the Darius Slay, or should they trade for Justin Jefferson? Should they get any of those guys on the roster? Let me know down below. And of course, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed. Leave a comment, leave a like, and let me know if there's any topics that you'd like to see me cover. Thank you all for watching, and subscribe for 49ers videos 5 days a week. I'm Brady Grustas, at Grustas Brady on X. This has been Niners Now, and I'll see you tomorrow.